You want to know what's really stopping you? Look in the mirror. That's the opponent. That's the coward. That's the killer of your dreams. It's not the system. It's not your boss. It's not your parents. It's the voice in your head telling you to quit early, to rest before you've earned it, to choose comfort over growth. That version of you, the soft one, the one addicted to distractions, the one who always finds an excuse, that version is destroying you from the inside out. And here's the truth most people never accept. You don't lose when someone beats you. You lose when you surrender to yourself. There's a version of you that shows up when it's convenient. That one doesn't deserve success. There's another version, the one that shows up when it's dark, when it's cold, when it hurts. That version is rare. That version is dangerous. The war isn't out there. It's internal. And every day you wake up and choose who wins, the you that builds or the you that breaks. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being stronger than your excuses, stronger than your laziness, stronger than your fear. This isn't motivation. This is a declaration. You either destroy your weakness or it destroys you. And if you're ready to stop being your own worst enemy, if you're done playing small, if you're ready to train your mind like a weapon, subscribe now. This is the battlefield, and this is where the war begins. The most dangerous part of you isn't lazy. It's clever. It knows your weaknesses better than anyone. It knows when to strike, when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when no one's watching. That version of you, the quitter, the justifier, the master of excuses, never sleeps. It waits. And the moment your guard drops, it takes over. It tells you to take a break when you should be pushing. It whispers, "You've done enough," when you've barely started. It convinces you to scroll instead of study, to postpone instead of execute, to dream instead of build. And every time you give in, it grows stronger. You feed it with your indecision, your self-pity, your comfort. It doesn't need to fight hard. It only needs you to stay weak. And you let it. You give it power every time you say tomorrow, every time you hit snooze, every time you lie to yourself. The other you is not lazy. It's strategic. And if you don't recognize it as the enemy, it will take everything from you. This is why most people never change. Because they keep negotiating with a part of themselves that only wants comfort. But the life you want? It's not in comfort. It's in war. A war that happens in your choices, in your routines, in your silence. The stronger version of you is not louder. It's more disciplined. It doesn't argue. It doesn't beg. It just acts. It executes. It wins in the moments no one sees. If you don't kill the version of you that wants easy, it will bury the version that wants greatness. Every morning, you wake up with a decision. Build or break. Fight or fold. You versus you. You think the world is unfair? It is. But that's not the reason you're stuck. You're stuck because your comfort matters more than your growth. You're stuck because discipline still feels optional. And as long as discipline is optional, your progress will be accidental. You don't lose because of others. You lose because of the deals you make with yourself when things get hard. You say you want success, but you make excuses. You say you want freedom, but you avoid responsibility. That's not ambition. That's sabotage. Self-sabotage disguised as self-care. And it's killing the version of you that was built to dominate. Discipline is not a trait. It's a choice. A choice you make every day, every hour, every moment you're tempted to take the easy way out. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't wait for motivation. Discipline is when you show up anyway. When you do the work even when it's invisible, even when it's boring, even when no one claps for you. People want to win without sacrifice. But the truth is, the most successful people on this planet are not the most talented, they're the most disciplined. They're the ones who've learned how to conquer themselves. They don't need pressure. They don't need praise. They don't need to be watched. They do what's required, because that's who they've become. You want to change your life? Then change your patterns. Destroy the version of you that only works when it's easy. That version doesn't deserve the life you keep imagining. Discipline is the gatekeeper between the life you have and the one you say you want. And no one's getting through that gate by accident. Everyone wants to change their life, but no one wants to change themselves. That's why most people stay stuck. They wait for better circumstances, better timing, better motivation, but nothing external ever changes until something internal breaks. You're not fighting the world. You're fighting who you were yesterday. And if you don't beat that version of you, you'll keep reliving the same day over and over with a different excuse. The truth is brutal. You don't rise to your dreams, you fall to your standards. And your standards are set by your identity, the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone inconsistent, you'll act inconsistent. If you see yourself as someone undisciplined, you'll behave accordingly. It doesn't matter what goals you set if you don't first rebuild who you are. That's what makes this battle so dangerous. You think it's about results, but it's about self-respect. The war is between the version of you that wants change and the version of you that's comfortable with decay. The one that's okay skipping one workout, one task, one opportunity, because it's just one time. But you know it's never just one. That's the crack where the whole foundation starts to collapse. Transformation starts when you take full responsibility. No more blaming your past. No more blaming your environment. No more outsourcing your results to luck. The only way to win is to rebuild from within. New beliefs, new rituals, new identity. The life you want isn't hidden. It's protected. Behind every habit you've been avoiding. Behind every sacrifice you've postponed. Behind every version of yourself you haven't been willing to kill. This is the hardest battle you'll ever fight. But if you win here, you win everywhere. Everyone wants to win in public. Everyone wants the applause, the spotlight, the results. But the real battle? It happens when no one's watching. In the early mornings when you're exhausted. In the nights where your mind wants to shut down. In the moments when you could cheat, quit, or coast, and no one would even notice. That's where the real winners separate themselves. It's easy to show up when people are clapping. It's easy to post when you're motivated. But when the room is quiet and the only voice you hear is the one telling you to stop, that's where the transformation happens. Not in front of others, but within yourself. The version of you that wins isn't loud. It's consistent. It doesn't need to prove anything to the world because it's too busy proving everything to itself. It stacks discipline in the dark. It builds character in silence, and it earns victory when no one is looking. That's why this battle is so personal. Because your progress won't be visible at first. No one will congratulate you for skipping distractions. No one will reward your focus. No one will see the sacrifices you make. But that's the point. Greatness is forged in obscurity. And when the time comes, when the results finally show, people will say it happened overnight. But you'll know better. You'll know it was the mornings, the reps, the pages, the choices, made in silence, that changed everything. You versus you means building in the dark, trusting the process when it's quiet, and showing up without needing anyone to notice. Because if you need validation to move, you'll stay stuck forever. But if you learn to win in silence, nothing can stop you in public. This is the battle you were born into. Not against the world. Not against your competition. Not even against your circumstances. The battle has always been you versus you. And now you know that. Now you can't ignore it. The excuses, the fear, the laziness, the doubt, they don't come from outside. They were grown inside, fed by habits, protected by comfort, reinforced by every time you said, "I'll do it later." But the truth is, later becomes never. And one day, You wake up stuck in a life that doesn't even feel like yours. That's what happens when you lose this war. You don't just miss goals, you miss your potential. You lose the chance to see who you could have been if you'd stopped letting the weaker version of you win. Because make no mistake, there are two versions of you inside right now. One that's hungry, focused, disciplined, quiet, and another that's fragile, loud, full of reasons why not, full of fear. That version always wants control, and every day through your actions, you choose which one survives. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to feel ready. You don't even need motivation. You need to move. You need to fight. You need to wake up and outwork the weaker version of yourself day after day until it no longer exists. And here's the part no one tells you. This battle never ends. You don't kill your demons once. You bury them every day. Every morning you rise, they rise too. And every day you make the choice. Stay the same or become more. But if you can win here, if you can dominate the voice in your head that wants to pull you back, you unlock everything. Because once you learn how to control yourself, no one can control you. Not failure, not rejection, not pain, nothing. You were not made to be average. You were not born to obey your weakness. You were built to rise, to sharpen, to become unstoppable. So starting now, make this battle personal. Wake up every day and declare, I will win against me. Not once, every time, in every choice, in every moment of silence. That's the only way. And once you win here, everything else becomes possible. If this hits something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Leave a comment below. Say it out loud. Declare it. I'm done losing to myself. And if you're ready to build a mind that can't be broken, subscribe now. This is where you become dangerous. This is where the real war begins.